Hey, this is JT, and I'm coming at you with a second carnivore grocery haul. This one's stripped down, and it's just gonna be basically eggs and beef, right? The staples of a carnivore diet. And I would argue that regardless of how you eat, these are going to be two of the most nutritious animal source foods you can get. So whether or not you're carnivore, if you're meal prepping, if you're preparing foods, these deals are still applicable to you. You don't have to be a carnivore. So with that being said, this grocery haul came primarily from Sprouts, which is a chain that's in 30-something states and growing fairly rapidly. So hopefully a lot of you that are in the United States can take advantage of these same deals. And these sales, I believe, are going on until Wednesday at Sprouts. And then the steaks are the only thing I got from a different store. These are ribeye steaks that I picked up from Albertsons. Albertsons, Vons, and Safeway are the same parent group, and so they have the same deals, and they are in 30-something states as well. So for you that live in the US, you may be able to get the same deal. I will link both of those companies, Sprouts and Albertsons Group, in the show notes, so you can click there and then you can go find out what states they're in and if they're close to you. But this is 4 dozen eggs, and this is 10 pounds of ground beef and 2.7 pounds of ribeye steaks, for a total of 2,400 calories per day. Add a tablespoon of butter, you're at 2,500. That's about my maintenance. In the last video, I did 2,000 calories per day. And that was more to be representative of what an average person would eat. And I've done down to around 2,000 calories. That would be for me if I was dieting. Around 2,500 is a maintenance level for me. So this would actually sustain me for a week. And this was yet again under $65. And the eggs are all pasture raised organic. The meat is all 100% grass fed, and except for the steaks are grain finished steaks. USDA choice grain finished ribeyes. Everything was still under $65. So kind of the point of these is to show you that it's not like a one-time thing and I got lucky and I got these, great deals for $65, but I could probably do it every week or whatever. And the biggest thing is I probably go shopping twice a week. And so yes, I'm investing an hour to 2 hours twice a week. But I'm buying this plus more because I'm feeding a family. But you can see the prices that I'm getting. And so the biggest thing is, in order to get similar deals, so I have 4 dozen of these eggs here because that's what, is going to put me at 2,400 calories for a week. But I have more than 4 dozen. I stock up when I find these deals, so that the food carries me through being able to find a similar deal again in the future, even if it takes a month. So that's kind of how I save a significant amount on getting high quality foods. With that being said, I'm not a beef snob or whatever. I'm not trying to meat shame anybody or egg shame anybody. I truly think that 100% beef is a nutrient dense food, whether you buy grain finished beef or you buy grass fed, 100% grass fed beef. I think eggs are super nutritious regardless of if you're buying the cheapest eggs that you can find or you're springing for like pasture raised eggs. So, definitely don't feel bad if where you're at you can't find a good deal or whatever and you buy normal eggs or you buy standard beef. The biggest thing with eggs, and I think it's super confusing, probably on purpose, when you buy a cheap egg, the nutrition, you're still getting tons of B vitamins. You're actually getting a good source of iodine. You get some omega-3s. You get all these things in the yolk of that egg that are good for you. But the conditions for the chicken maybe are the least ideal, right? They don't have a lot of space, that type of thing. And then when you go to cage-free, that is a step up for, I guess, animal welfare, but the nutrient value of the egg is no different. Okay, so you're paying more money for potentially better living conditions for the bird. Then you go to, so you have your cage-free, and then you have free range, which when you go to free range, it simply means that they have access to an outdoor area, although that area can be concrete or hard dirt. It doesn't have to have forage or pasture. So the chicken's diet, once again, doesn't change. Their living conditions are potentially slightly better, but the cost of the egg is significantly more. From there, you have organic eggs, obviously, but organic eggs are not necessarily pastured eggs. And so the nutritional value of an organic egg and the cheapest egg possible are almost identical. You may be getting, if there's trace amounts of pesticide residue or something, I mean, that would be the difference in an organic egg, right? There's never any pesticides used, but the chickens are still fed the same 100% grain diet. So there's no nutritional difference in the content of the egg, and they're significantly more expensive. Again, when you go to pasture raised chickens, and it actually states that on the package, ideally you want to look for a seal, like a humane certified seal, because then they are certifying that the chicken gets 108 square feet on average of pasture land or forage. And so that's where the chicken's going to be eating a more natural diet with lots of bugs and seeds and the things that it would naturally find on a pasture. And there is a study I'll link to in the, below in the comments or the notes. And it actually shows that pastured eggs are found to have, 2 times more omega-3s or more, 2 to 5 times more vitamin D, higher levels of vitamin A, and other nutrients, vitamin E. So if you're going to spend extra money on eggs, you are spending extra money for potentially small increases in space for the chicken without any additional health benefit to you, which is fine if you want to do that. If you're buying the eggs for an additional health benefit as far as nutrients go, then you're going to want to go with pasture raised eggs. And the other option would be to buy omega-3 eggs, which is where they feed the hens some foods to increase the omega-3 content, but you would want it to specify that on the package. And the cost for those is generally pushed up to be close to pasture-raised eggs. And a pasture-raised egg is going to have the best living conditions for the bird, plus the better nutritional profile. So when it comes to eggs, personally, I'm not going to pay for the middle of the road eggs. I'm just going to buy the cheap eggs, honestly, or I'm going to buy the pasture-raised eggs, which is what I've been doing for a while, and stocking up when I find a deal on them. So these are buy one, get one free. They're $6.99 for 1 dozen, which is expensive, but they're pasture-raised organic eggs. And at buy one, get one free, I'm okay paying the difference. But that's just, that's just me. With the ground beef, it's 100% grass-fed ground beef. I called Sprouts to verify that it's never fed grain. Not that I'm a beef snob, not that I won't, this is actually grain-fed, grain-finished ribeye steak. So I will eat grain-finished beef. That's not the issue. When I find grass-fed ground beef on sale, if I'm paying the additional price to get grass-fed beef, I want to make sure I'm getting grass-fed beef, not grain-finished beef labeled as grass-fed because it ate a little bit of grass at some point, if that makes sense. So I did call Sprouts. They did verify that this beef is 100% grass-fed throughout the life cycle of the animal, and that there's no grain feeding at all. So I've got 10 pounds of grass-fed beef, $3.99 a pound. I've got ribeye steaks that are grain-finished, USDA choice for $4.77 a pound. All in all, under $65 for the week. Once again, only this time a little bit higher calorie content than last time, still the same price. So that's this week's grocery haul. Again, I'll have pertinent links in the show notes. If you have questions or comments, go ahead and sound off and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And I look forward to doing another one of these for you guys. Thank you for supporting the content.